And GosI Terran, I think, is going to be ready to move out here, but I only see Tank Vulture. And in fact, a third add-on going on, a bad one, because it's going to trap tanks in here. Not many factories. Really, when you start maxing out and you're getting ready to attack, you need to add a ton of factories. That's something very important a lot of Terran players don't do. But that's basically, that is on my checklist. Before I move out, maxed, you know, with a good economy, add a bunch of factories so you can place your army if you lose it. Now we see he's going to take out this base. That shouldn't be a problem, even with these 3 carriers floating here. And, you know, at this point, he's just suiciding probes because he needs supply. You know, Protoss vs. Terran, you do not want to make too many probes. And actually, he does have a ridiculous amount of probes. So, smart move to do that. Look at this, DT's popping out to try to slow down the taking of this bottom right. And, you know, I still don't see Goliaths being made. I mean, yeah, Goliaths being made. So GosI Terran right now definitely does not know that he's going mass carrier. And this is going to hurt because it looks like he's going to have about 8 carriers at once. And if they pop out with 8 when you don't have, you know, at least 12 to Goliaths, you're going to lose. So you may lose based on purely not scouting these carriers, which is a shame, but you know, that's what happens. But he is going to push in here, take this out relatively easily, and you know, hopefully lose some supply in the process. I think he is right around maxed out. He needs to expend some of this supply so that he can refill it with Goliaths, and he is, but he also wants to do this base, so at the same time, it's not quite working out for GosI Terran. I don't know, he might be a little bit panicking right now, you know. You get quite excited in a situation like this, you know, all he dreams about is becoming a pro gamer. Look at this, now he's going to see these carriers. So it is time for him to get something big done, and it's really looking very, very grim for him at this point. You know, such a nice little opening that he had, killing a lot of dragons. Good position, he made some good calls to come back. He just did not scout this unit composition, basically a carrier type switch. And it looks like that is going to end up costing him this game. Because, you know, yeah, sure, he's pushing across, just slaughtering the ground army of Grape, but eventually these carriers, you know, they just like wipe out some stuff down here and fly up here and clean up. He's got to buy time, get a lot of guys. He does have 2-2, 3-2 should be finished pretty soon. We had +2 on air attack, +1 on plasma shields. Nothing on armor plate yet, but, you know, it's a hard position. Yes, GosI Terran definitely can still win, but just normally in these circumstances, it's going to kind of become a war of attrition. You know, as you see, he's going to kill this base, most likely. And carriers are so good in that until they start losing interceptors. So bang goes away. Look at that! He slaughters off constructors. I do not know why he's done that. There's so many tanks up here. He's actually going to be able to clear this as well very quickly. These carriers are actually doing surprisingly little. He's just kind of sitting over a mineral base. It doesn't matter that much to GosI Terran right now, because he is still mining here, is still mining here. Really, gas is a resource he's going to be missing out on a lot. So, GosI Terran going to clear a bunch of expansions. It's going to knock Grape down to this base right here, his third, his natural, and this bottom right, which unfortunately GosI Terran was sloppy about and didn't kill. But here come Goliaths, intercepting these carriers in the center, and I think I spoke too soon about this strong carrier switch. You know, he made the mistake. He moved his carriers in the right position. I think it would have been more correct to chase down tanks and kill tanks and play, you know, okay, now you don't have tanks, you're not going to have enough gas to make tanks and Goliaths. But, I mean, he's going up here, he should be able to clear out a bunch of the tanks anyways. So, you know, this is actually getting to be quite a back and forth game, a little seesaw going on. It looks like all these tanks should be doomed. And how many tanks do you have left, GosI Terran? I'm sorry if I'm moving around so fast, but this is exciting stuff. And it's really, really important how many tanks GosI Terran has left on the map, because Goliaths are so bad against Dragoons, so bad against carriers. Basically, so bad against carrier in anything. I mean, cannons on carriers. But, basically, you need them mixed with tanks. It's more important to have a few tanks with you than to have extra Goliaths. So he's lost a lot of these really high gas heavy tanks, and that's just painful. But he is taking out this base, which is just gigantically gigantic. And a couple more carriers in. Let's see what we got here. So we got Zealots. We got a bunch of carriers. That is a scary swarm of carriers, and he's got even an armor upgrade in this one. Goliaths, of course, have double attacks, so each armor does least twice as much armor. And looks like they're both going to be mined out pretty much. So GosI Terran right now, he needs to take out this Nexus, obviously. Okay, so he takes it out. That's very good. He's going to lose his Goliaths, clearly. Now, how many Goliaths does he have? What's his economy? Looks like he has plenty of economy left, but we do have another Nexus being made up here. If this gets up and fully functionally mining, then obviously Grape is going to be in a nice position. Now, Grape does have a decent amount of probes left, a decent amount left, and so many carriers. What needs to happen right now is intercept killing. The cost effectiveness of these is gigantic. They should be getting low on minerals, so interceptive killing is quite important, but not with this Goliaths. You cannot let them pick off the Goliaths so much. You have to have a huge amount of Goliaths behind. You just kind of attack moving on the ground, letting it kill it. In the meantime, the Dragoons come up, the Psi Storms are ready to stop anything that comes up and try to stop it. And this is painful to see. I think GosI Terran actually may have less of an economy than I thought. I thought he had a little bit more minerals in this, but it looks like his army count is going down. And, ouch, what can I say, man? It looks like he is going to be broken. Well, at least his factories are blinking, so maybe his macro just kind of fell off a little bit. But he really needs to make so many Goliaths. He needs to pick off interceptors over and over and over. But he is killing this, which is big. If he can then go out and kill this as well, gigantic. Let's say here. There's a lot of Dragoons, and as I said, Goliaths versus Dragoons is not a pretty picture. Losing those tanks, they really should be set way, way back. You get a super defensive position. And it looks like Grape is just going to be able to finish him off with what he's got left. A few more Dragoons coming up, a long probe line going to mine. And, what can I say? It was a good effort by GosI Terran. Definitely a must-see series. Some close, fun games there. And although GosI Terran does end up losing 1-2 to Grape, put on some really good games. I think that has to impress anyone. Grape's been on eSTRO for quite a while. So good work to GosI Terran. And thank you all for watching.